Good evening. Welcome to First Friday's North Beach and our first night market. Just to let you know, I'm Dan Macchiarini. I'm chairman of the First Fridays Committee for the North Beach Business Association. And what you're going to hear tonight is some of our most amazing poets and musicians are going to play right here from North Beach. And to give you a little history, North Beach created the First Fridays in 2007. This is before Oakland, before Reno, before Las Vegas, Seattle, anyone else had a First Fridays. First Fridays started here. So what I want to do is I want to introduce our amazing organizer for our poets and our performance people, Jessica Loos, and she's going to introduce the lineup for tonight for our poets and musicians. Thank you.
Anyhow, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to North Beach First Fridays and the North Beach Night Markets. The first night market, we have some great poets and musicians on the schedule tonight. I'm going to open up with a poem from the book, The Language of Saxophones. It's the selected poems of Camus Daoud. And this poem is called World Music. 1,000 saxophones, 700 kotos, 11 machetes dripping sugarcane, 300 violins, 650 bagpipes, fresh cut bamboo screaming, 9,000 birds in prayer, 200 mechanics, grease buried beneath their short fingernails, 800 sitars, 7 10-foot gongs. 1 million tearless children in Ethiopia, 300 hammers, 200 saws, 10 holy men in subways, 12 divine mothers in wash houses, 1,500 shovels in South African mines, 49 koras and 17 balafons, 7,003 assorted drums, 7,002 assorted hearts, 50 steel drums, 10,000 midwives carrying fresh fruit, 70 purple banjos, 500,000 Muslims chanting Quran, 6,000 birds of paradise, 100 golden fishermen's nets, 3,000 silkworms, 8,000 waterfalls, 7 trillion, 10 billion, 601,204 tubas, and 1 black chopstick. So I'm going to open up after this. I'm going to begin the evening with some music by Stephen Truskolaski.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, that was Stephen Truskolaski. And next we're gonna we have a kind of a special guest this evening. He's been here several times. He's here like 2 or 3 times a year. Mario Sacasa, and he's gonna be reading some poetry tonight, as well as playing some songs, playing some music later. But right now, he is from Nicaragua, and he's going to be reading a very famous Nicaraguan poet named Ruben Dario in Spanish, and David Zieses, who does the sound for us every month, is going to be reading the poems in English. So please welcome Mario Sacasa and David Zieses reading the poet Ruben Dario, and Mario will explain to you a little bit about the poet and his relationship to the poet.
Good evening, San Francisco. What an honor to share the stage with David. We usually have guitars on when we're on stage, but it's an honor to talk to you about Rubén Darío, a poet from my country, from Nicaragua. And we're going to begin with a work of his from his early work from a book called Azul, which was very, very important in the literary world that started a movement called the Modernismo, modernism. And this is from the year 1888. It's called Venus. I'll read it in the original text in Spanish, and Dave will read it in English. En la tranquila noche, mis nostalgias amargas sufría. En busca de quietud, bajé al fresco y cálido jardín. En el oscuro cielo, Venus, bella temblando lucía, como incrustada en ébano, un dorado y divino jazmín. A mi alma enamorada, una reina oriental parecía, que esperaba a su amante bajo el techo de su camerín. O que llevaba en los hombros la profunda extensión recorrida, triunfante y luminosa, recostada sobre un palanquín. Oh reina rubia, díjele, mi alma quiere dejar su cristalidad y volar hacia tú, y tus labios tu fuego besar, y flotar en el rumbo que derrama tu frente luz pálida, en cirrales éxtasis no dejarte un momento de amar. El aire de la noche refrescaba la atmósfera cálida. Venus, desde tu abismo, me miraba con triste mirar.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Just a quick note about the poet himself, and this was, as Mario said, the year 1888, and he was a young man at that point still. Mark Twain had come down from San Francisco a couple years before that, and come through Nicaragua on his way. It was the fastest way to get to New York City at that time. Instead of going across country, they had a pass you could go through down in Nicaragua, and it'll take you up. So Twain had come through the country earlier, and so they were very much aware of world literature at the time, and that was 1888 when he wrote that. I'll read it in English, and this again was him as a young man, and then the next poem we'll do is him as an older man. All right, from Azul, 1888. In the still of the night, my bitter nostalgia suffered. In search of serenity, I went down to the cool and quiet garden. In the dark sky, beautiful Venus trembling, shining like a golden and divine jasmine inlaid in ebony. To my loving soul, an oriental queen appeared, to be waiting for her lover under the roof of her alcove, or who carried on shoulders toward the deep expanse, jubilant and glowing, reclining on a palanquin. Oh, fair queen, I tell her my soul wants to leave its chrysalis and fly to you and kiss your fiery lips and float in an aura that casts a pale light on your forehead, and in celestial ecstasy, I will not stop loving you for a moment. The night air freshened the warm atmosphere. Venus from the abyss looked at me with sadness in her eyes.
You know, they say that Nicaragua is the land of volcanoes, lakes, and poets. And in great part to this great man, Rubén Darío. I'll share a little history. He's from my hometown of León. And my great-grandfather, Luis de Baile, was childhood friends with Rubén Darío. And unfortunately, Rubén lived to be 49. And his best friend, my great-great-grandfather, was the doctor, you know, who didn't expect to see him go so young, but they shared a life together and left really in history, you know, these words. And we're going to read now something from the end of Rubén Darío's career, and we'll do it backwards this time. We'll read it. David will read it in English, and I'll read it in the natural.
Okay. This
Oh,
one's-
no? Spanish first. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Flor de luz. Let's see. The better light over here. Apareció mi alma como de la corola de un lirio. Ella sabía estar desnuda y sola, sola como el agua en el viento, ligera, transparente, sutil, maravillosa. Era como una divina flor de luz o un divino pájaro que en el aire acaba de nacer. No sabía qué oír, ni ver, ni comprender, y aún no sabía a dónde iba, ni lo que era materia aquí abajo ni arriba.
There used to be a great poetry festival down in Granada each year, the International Poetry
The
Festival.
International Poetry Festival,
One of the most beautiful places. Hasn't happened the last couple years, but hopefully they'll get back to that at some point. So this last one, this is closer to the end of his life. This is from 1914. So he's definitely seen some things at this point. This one's called Flower of Light. My soul emerged into life as if she had come from a lily's corona. She was at one with being naked, alone, as if she were lost in water or wind, weighing nothing, gently tossed into transparency, divine flower of light. She resembled a bird that was born in midair, with no inkling of how to see or how to know or hear, and still she had no idea where she would go or what matter is in the sky or here below. Flower of light. Thank you, everybody. Give it up for Mario Sacasa. He's a great musical artist from Nicaragua, a great writer as well. He won the John Lennon Prize in Spanish back in 2000 and something or other. Great songwriter, and check him out. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so once again, that was Mario Sacasa and David Zieses reading Ruben Dario. And next, please welcome Ayla Ginger.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to Poetry in the Streets. My first question, both of these poems started from a question. The first one is, why do the hills climb as they do? Freckled with buildings and beings coexisting in a not so symbiotic entropy. Evie, she had the entropy symbol tattooed on her arm. She told me that the nature of life was chaos. But I didn't think that it would play out like this. That entropy, the damned thing, would take her. That we could no longer exist in our hill-climbing, blissful togetherness. Our chaos is peace, and accepting impermanence means enlightenment way of thinking. That East meets Western hippie ideology that's so easy to follow until entropy runs its course. You see, I moved to San Francisco because I loved climbing hills, but some don't, because their feet don't have arches, or their toenails are ingrown, or their lungs like smoking, because someone told me that smoking is fun. Or the view from the top is just too dizzying, because these hills, they climb toward uncertainty. Look down over the edge and you think, I really am just too small to matter in this all. And the only thing certain is death, and that the city takes its subjects into its own gaping wound, saying, society, you made me. You created this system that breeds violence, you humans with your sentiments and intellect, you tree-hugging pavement creators. The irony of your policies that killed the girl with the entropy symbol tattooed on her. And she was right. House hunting in the sunset before she died, she didn't get the chance to walk the hills that climb, but climb as they do, upwards towards aliens. And I'm hopeful about angels and foot arches for everyone, and lungs that can withstand a lifetime of cigarette smoke, and hordes of impermanence-loving Zen monks who say, alas, from their little caves. The nature of life is chaos, and it will take you before you're ready, or maybe right when you close your eyes forever because you just couldn't take the entropy any longer. So onward to better hills and bluer skies that climb toward fluffy American spirit clouds, where aliens and angels traipse on by. And I try to remember what my life was like without her. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna ditch the paper. The next one is a question that someone asked me that I thought was really sweet. The question was, do you love the sea? And this was my answer. Do you love the sea? He asked me in the front seat of Sandy, the Jeep Cherokee. You see, he doesn't usually name things, but she was so clearly Sandy, just like he was so clearly blue, creamy, calloused aura of yesterday and today and forever's tomorrow morning. I'll make you better coffee next time. I've probably thought about it more than I should. Sometimes I'm not sure how there's so much real estate in my brain. How the pain of yesterday's childhood screams with hyperventilation. An invisible pen writing messages in the closet, hoping she just forgets I exist, mixed with the passion for midday cooking shows and too loud funk music as he circles around in his Rolex Cadillac brute-smelling musk. He always made my cheeks blush. The eternal dedication to painting cashmere and ukulele world peace, the breath of life so sweet and so goddamn mean. I'm learning to be angry. I didn't think that was an emotion that was good to express, but the earth's bloody body and tears are calling for it. The right kind of angry, the mobilized to action because complacency won't work anymore. It never worked. You know, the I don't read the news. I don't talk politics. I can't be bothered with problems from so far away, says suburban mom whose household is entirely sustained on products from far away. Oil from Arabia to cart your kids to practice, knick-knack toys made with cheap labor from China, your exotic foods that keep you healthy and high-minded and green so that you can safely attend your next dinner party and say, I don't talk politics. How did we get here? Does she really love the sea? I do. I do love the sea because it connects this great big web of humanity that allows us to think all of these things. To look out and imagine that infinity does exist and that I can touch your creamy complexion for at least part of it. That you'll listen to me be angry for the first time in a long time. To love the sea but hate her ships that bring narcotics that cause wars and pain and keep me high until Sunday morning, you salty sea-loving hypocrite. Do you love the sea? Do you feel her ailments and sink with her pseudo-buoyant dreams of romantic floating on the surface nonsense? You know, you only float if you want to, until drowning takes over the psyche so easily, and only the happiest of birdies will die. But don't fret too long in the sadness. Do it for the park, the flowers, the trees. Do something that will make the band sing. Do it for the sea. Write something happy, he said. But all I really care about is making you better coffee next time. Maybe I'll be happier then. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Macchiarini.
Okay. Once again, that was Ayla Ginger. Next, please welcome Brian Lucas.
Hi, everyone. Just going to read a couple of poems here. I guess that's what we're doing. This is from a chapbook called Lost Comets that was published a couple of years ago. Two-way mirror books here in San Francisco. No royalty allowed. I'm a pimp for free time with a secret immunity to death shot through with happy lasers. I lie down burned by speech contamination. I shift my being into overdrive. Wild tribes of self shatter into sheaves of quartz I could burrow into. Arrange my molecules to target this black hole in a mutiny of ecstatic proportion. And, just placid things. Letting it all hang out, then reining it in. Lost in the it of days, a certain melancholy only music could solve. There we were, foraging for sparks, dressed in solar linens absorbed by a languid ambiguity. Throw me a crust of earth, let me mark its territory with the sleight of hand. Gouge out the eyes of tension, make our loopy selves into granite, follow the ibis into the reeds. Ideas of silence are enough, aren't they? Make the world in my image, let the air out of my spine hand off the hunger for placid things. In an instant, fusion is complete, the lean stasis of significant beings in a natal bath. We ruminate slenderly, allow the worship of wrought and tense forward moves. An acrid blast of the everyday permeates the senses, justifies the endless riff of humdrum ho-hums, desiring real bones and lymph. And just like maybe one or two more here. This is called The Secret Place. Just a semblance is all I need, a limitless vagary. I just want to be honest in my expansions, a gift of ointment to the scaly, a telescope for the eternally prone and frenzied. I've hit the plateau of infinite joy. Gathered up my shell and admitted I felt best when annihilated. I'm soaring between satellites now. Who would have thought? I kissed the ground when I learned you were free, blue cream in the cracks. I almost became you, but opted for a carrot. Her entire spine covered in lights as we watched from the mesa, glorious flight to the center of my brain. Into the abyss, into the breach, a crack in the ether, this is where we'll escape. Superior forms of awareness, striking out for distant places, growing into the surroundings like a new organism. I'll meet you in the secret place where the thistle speaks of truthful moments, something to eat while I wait. Here the convulsion sat and wait for someone to enter, urged its own leafy conundrum. Here I am, born again, ready to lift off. And just one more for tonight. Thanks, Jessica, for having me. This is called Honesty is the Best Policy, which, maybe. My aim is to pass into oblivion, upset the monocle of an era, throw buckets of ganglion into the ether. Sun won't rise? Pluck the eyes from a genome, cradle the moment with your big, thick paws. Weave all the particles into a delicious giant until truth spurts. What of the bumps on my body? Consult the corrupt map. Expel me like drool from a bladder. I'm conscious of only my tongue, incessant rattle of the lingual. I took every pill they gave me, sucked down all their tinctures, gave it up when I should have held it in. The splendor of those glints that fed on me, catapulting their golden twilight umber across the senses. My brain emits the yellow burp of eternity across a lake of pure purple. Imagine it, engineer it, construct a diagram of nature. The mosaic of the eye is the voyage. Thanks, I paid them. Huh? Oh, one more? Okay. Jessica says one more. All right, one more. I mean, I did come all the way from Oakland, so shit. Okay, one more. I want to show you this place hidden in the air, describe a color that doesn't exist while we make way for the Newman. I'm allergic to breathing at the edge where only suggestions can live. I ferment in the face of destiny's sponge-like way. A few twists, then a deep dive into the accelerator, my heart the carburetor, and a manic reunion of opposites fuse in the long grass. I ferment gold in a cave on the skull's side, engender blasts for the expanse we glide through. My shield a rotten plank. Clogged with broken bees, lead, bougainvillea wrapped round my torso. The sun spoke to me, so I fed it soft white lice. Back of the beyond where halos signal through a very individual fog, crystalline and stuck between chakras, there lies the palace of poisoned snow where I farted my pledge to a transcendence. My tongue coated with static, my genetic memory extended. No one can foresee where this is going. Or not.
So once again, that was Brian Lucas. And now we're going to have Mario Sacasa back up here to play some music for you.
Muchas gracias, thank you. If I could call poetry in notes and music, it would be that song called La Mora Limpia from Justo Santos from Nicaragua. It's a beautiful representation of what that music has. That hammock between North America and South America, down in Nicaragua, in the heart of the Americas. So you hear the Spanish influence, but you also hear those rhythms from the South. Thank you for this invitation. What an honor for me to be here in North Beach and be inspired by you all. And I'm going to do one more song. This is so new. I haven't even recorded this one yet, but it's an original song. It's called Comalapa Blues. Comalapa is a small, dusty town down in Nicaragua. And the blues is the blues, you know, from this beautiful country. So here you go. First time. North Beach. Here you go.
Cae la lluvia, el techo sigue goteando. Ese recuerdo tuyo que sabe a miel. Afuera la bulla crece, se va acercando, pero adentro tu beso me hace bien. Comalapa Blues, te sigo llorando. Comalapa Blues, baby, azul azul. La rocola vieja sigue sonando. Esas canciones que yo te canté. Gloriosas batallas que me he ganado. Y tan pronto mi vida todo se fue a perder. Comalapa Blues, te sigo soñando. Comalapa Blues, baby, te sigo llorando. Azul, enamorado. Comalapa Blues, baby, azul, azul.
Thank you all. Thank you. Huh? We got something special coming up. We got a surprise for you.
He'll do another one.
I would like big applause for Jessica, who makes this happen and who gave me this beautiful invitation. Jessica Loos.
So that was Mario, and this is still Mario. And he's gonna accompany me on a poem, and then hopefully we can persuade him to play another song or two after he accompanies me on the poem. So he's trying to trip me, I can already tell. Okay, this is called Road Trip to Joshua Tree. And just start, and I'll just... We drove out of San Francisco on a foggy, hungover morning, leaving the sinking millennium and the erecting Salesforce behind for the warmth of desert sun and seasonal flower bloom. We don't stop till Bakersfield, the birthplace of Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, Dwight Yoakam, smoky-filled honky-tonk sounds from Dust Bowl Okie descendants. Mama tried to raise me better. There's a dusty man at the bottom of the exit ramp, panhandling. He holds a cardboard sign that says anything at all. Mama tried. We get gas and 2 donuts and get back on the road, plowing through the Central Valley. Asparagus, apricot, alfalfa, arugula, big lots of figs and nuts. That's why the fruit fell. The greening of America. Roadside farm stands, Mexican workers in tinted window pickup trucks, hot tamales, tomatoes, GMO corn. There are too many American flags and campaign signs for Trump on tin roof shacks on the side of the highway, and a statue of a dinosaur by the tin roof shacks on the side of the highway. We cruise through the national park straight away when we get there. Only a few red blooming cactuses, some buttercups. It's windy. The dead Joshua trees on the ground are skeletons, but Mama tried. There are 2 black caterpillars, a butterfly. I eat a bologna sandwich and get scolded for walking off on my own. We'd had our fill of nature, went to the hotel, surrounded by an asphalt parking lot and a pool that overlooked the asphalt parking lot. We drink wine in rickety lawn chairs, watch a mourning dove and her baby on a wire. He was sitting in the shade. I was blinded by the light. The born-again hall next door has a picture of Jesus that says, "Jesus saves!" We go into town where a man on a wall drinks a bottle in a bag, asking for money for another. "You got a quarter toward a drink?" Then he asks my friend, "You're Indian, ain't you?" "Aren't we all?" "Who do you run into on the desert?" Flies buzz around the guy's head. We We get back in the car and follow the signs for a yard sale down a washboard road. More tin roof shacks. We keep following the signs. Turn right, Jesus saves. Turn left, Jesus saves. Turn right, turn left, Jesus saves. Real garage stuff, kids' bikes, cast iron pots and pans, rusty watches, a red wheelbarrow I can depend on. Later he will tell me, your dwarfed feminine domestic skills are ridiculous. On the way out the next day, there's a dead coyote on the side of the road, more flies, tin roof shacks, Jesus saves. I invited you on this road trip to see if I wanted you to be my girlfriend. You flunked. We stop in San Miguel for the night. The only restaurant, a Mexican joint, closed at 8. Life outside the big city. I get drunk in the hotel parking lot full of migrant workers and talk on my phone. Connor, the antique dealer, is dead. Jack Mueller is dying. We need to eat fried chicken, but we go to the old mission to smell the red roses by the old wine press and notice the anti-abortion sign in the bushes. Jesus saves! Mama tried. I'll take anything at all.
Friends, Jessica Loos, who has a book coming out this spring. Please support, that'll be a good one. We're looking forward to it. It's called Tambourine. We like to give her a hard time, but we are grateful that she pulls this off miraculously for us all to have a good time each month. So, Jessica Loos.
Hola, los amigos de León. Hey, hey. From Nicaragua, it's great to see people. Long time, huh? I don't know about you, it feels like Christmas here in San Francisco, huh? Feels good, huh? Yeah! Got that feeling, I got that feeling. Here's an oldie, this is a good one. From the King. I was down in Memphis and picked this one up. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. Sing it with me. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. Won't be the same day if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when the blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright in your Christmas, so I have a blue Christmas in San Francisco. You'll be doing alright in your Christmas, so I have a blue Christmas. I have a blue Christmas. Have a great night. Let's take it down the street. Let's keep partying this evening. Keeping that good energy. Thank you for the invitation. I loved all the poets. Thank you, San Francisco.
And thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Please continue to check out North Beach First Fridays and the night market. It would be great if I could have a few volunteers to help me move the chairs inside. And thank you to Colin, my friend, who films this series every month for Alcatraz Radio. So check out the North Beach First Fridays Macchiarini Poetry Series on Alcatraz Radio.